in the heart of the space city, a small, glowing diner floated above the ground, surrounded by floating cars and neon lights. Inside, humans and aliens shared the tables, but not everyone knew how to act with each other. James, a young human traveler, walked in with a smirk, his eyes scanning the place, looking for something unusual. He had heard stories about alien waiters, strange beings who served food with intelligence, sometimes even testing humans for curiosity or greed. The diner was quiet but alive, soft music floating through the air, holographic menus displaying dishes James had never seen before. The alien waiter approached, tall and thin, with green skin that shimmered slightly, eyes glowing softly, and tentacles that moved with grace. "Welcome, human," it said in a voice that seemed to echo inside James's mind. "Please, choose what you like." James grinned and chose the cheapest dish, pretending he cared little for the menu. But inside he had a plan. He wanted to test the alien, to see if it would notice his trick, so he decided to leave a $0 tip, thinking aliens would not care about money. As he ate, he watched the waiter carefully, trying to see if it would react. The food was unusual, rich in flavor and color, and James had to admit it was better than he expected. The waiter stood quietly nearby, folding its tentacles, watching him in silence, which made James a little nervous. He whispered to himself, "They don't even care, they just stand there," and he laughed quietly, imagining himself as clever. Finally, James finished the meal and placed his empty plate on the table, leaving the tip slot empty. He left the diner with a smile, expecting nothing, but inside he felt a strange feeling of being watched. The alien waiter returned to the table, lifting the plate gently, and James noticed something strange under it. A soft glow appeared, pulsing lightly, as if the plate was hiding something he could not see before. James stopped and turned back, curiosity stronger than his pride. "What is this?" he muttered. He walked slowly to the table again, and the waiter's eyes seemed to follow him, calm and silent. Beneath the plate, he saw a small, smooth object, glowing with a soft blue light, almost like it was alive. It was not metal, not crystal, but something he had never seen before. Small, round, and mysterious. James picked it up carefully, feeling a slight vibration under his fingers, like it was reacting to his touch. The alien waiter did not speak, but its eyes glowed brighter for a moment. As if acknowledging him, James's heart raced, his mind full of questions. Is this a trick, a trap, or something else? He looked around the diner, but everything seemed normal. Humans chatting, aliens moving gracefully, no one noticing his discovery. The small glowing object pulsed again, and a soft sound like whispers echoed in James's mind, but he could not understand the words. He realized this was no ordinary object, and the alien waiter was not ordinary either. A chill ran down his spine, not from fear, but from excitement, the thrill of discovering something truly unknown. James sat down at a nearby table, holding the glowing object, and stared at the waiter, wondering what would happen next. The waiter turned slowly, moving away silently, but James could feel its presence watching him, even as it left. He whispered to himself, "I thought I was clever, but maybe I am the one being tested." The diner's lights flickered softly, and James knew his adventure had only just begun. He did not know the power of the small object, or the true intelligence of the alien, but he could feel the story unfolding, and in that moment, James realized that his simple plan to trick the waiter had turned into something far greater, something that would change his journey forever. The glowing object pulsed in his hand, and James's mind filled with questions he could not yet answer. He leaned back, excitement and fear mixed together, ready for whatever would come next. And the alien waiter continued its silent watch, a mystery waiting to be revealed. James could not stop staring at the small, glowing object in his hand. Its light pulsed softly, almost like a heartbeat, and he felt a strange warmth spreading through his fingers. He wondered what it was, but the answer did not come easily. The diner was busy, yet he felt as if he was alone, focused only on the alien artifact. Curiosity pushed him to examine it more closely, turning it in his hand, noticing symbols etched faintly on its surface, symbols that seemed to shift when he blinked. He thought he recognized one symbol for time, or maybe knowledge, but the others were unknown. Strange, alien. Suddenly, the object hummed, vibrating more strongly, and James jumped back slightly. A faint holographic projection appeared above it, showing tiny images of places he had never seen, cities floating in the sky, alien landscapes. and strange creatures moving with intelligence. James gasped, leaning closer, trying to understand the meaning of the projection. The images changed quickly, and he saw humans among aliens, sometimes helping, sometimes in danger. It was as if the object was showing him stories, memories, or lessons, and he felt a mix of fear and awe. James realized that this object was not just a toy or a trick. It was alive in some way. He looked around for the alien waiter, hoping for answers, but the creature had vanished, leaving only a faint shimmer in the air. Feeling a rush of excitement, James decided to leave the diner carefully. Carrying the glowing object with him, he walked through the neon streets, noticing humans and aliens interacting in ways he had never imagined. Some humans were curious, friendly, or afraid, while aliens seemed calm, confident, and intelligent. The glowing object pulsed faster as he walked, guiding him almost like it wanted him to follow. James arrived at a quiet alley and sat down, placing the object on the ground in front of him. The light expanded, forming a small, holographic map of the city, with points of interest marked in a strange, glowing script. He leaned closer, trying to understand, and suddenly, a soft voice echoed in his mind. Human, learn, understand, respect. James froze, the words clear and real, but he could not see anyone speaking. He realized the object was communicating directly with his mind, sharing knowledge in a way humans could barely comprehend. Excitement mixed with fear as he thought about what he had done in the diner, leaving no tip, thinking he was clever. Now he understood that the alien waiter had known exactly what he would do, and this object was a test, a lesson, and a reward all at once. James's heart raced, realizing he had stumbled into something much larger than himself. The holographic map shifted, showing a glowing path, and the voice whispered again, follow, truth, choice. James felt a pull, as if the object was guiding him to a purpose he did not yet know. He packed the object carefully into his bag, feeling its warmth, and stood up, ready to follow wherever it led. As he moved through the city streets, he noticed subtle changes around him, shadows that seemed alive, lights that shifted strangely, and whispers of wind carrying alien words. James could feel that he was being watched, but not in a threatening way, more like a teacher watching a student. He thought about the diner, the alien waiter, and his prank, feeling a mix of guilt and wonder. What is this? Why me? He whispered, but the object pulsed, as if answering in silence. James knew his life had changed in an instant, from a simple human traveler to someone part of a larger story, a story that involved aliens, hidden knowledge, and challenges he could not yet imagine. He took a deep breath, excitement and fear mixing in his chest, and began to follow the glowing path. Every step he took brought more questions, more wonder, and more anticipation, and in the quiet of the neon-lit city, James realized that his adventure with the alien waiter and the mysterious object was only beginning. The glowing object in James's hand pulsed brighter than ever. He felt a sudden warmth spread through his chest, like it was trying to reach his mind directly. Then, as if responding to his thoughts, the object projected a larger holographic image above him, showing a vast city floating in the sky. Alien beings moved gracefully among tall towers, and humans were seen interacting with them, sometimes in harmony, sometimes in confusion. James watched, mesmerized, trying to understand the scenes. Suddenly, the holographic image focused on a single alien, the same waiter from the diner, standing calmly in a quiet room. A soft voice echoed in James's mind, clear and gentle. Human, you have acted with greed, yet curiosity remains. Listen and learn. James gasped, realizing the object was communicating directly with him, thoughts and words forming inside his head without sound. The alien waiter appeared in the projection, lifting one tentacle toward him, and symbols appeared, glowing softly. They formed words James could read in his mind. Every choice has meaning. Every action leaves a mark. Respect life. Respect knowledge. James felt a mix of fear and awe. Understanding that this was no ordinary object, or ordinary alien, he tried to speak. Who? What are you? But the object pulsed, answering silently. Then the projection shifted, showing moments from his own past. Small choices, small actions, things he had thought meaningless. Each moment was connected to the alien world, showing him how humans could influence or harm, or help, beings far beyond Earth. James's heart pounded, realizing the lesson was bigger than he imagined. The object pulsed again, guiding his hand to touch the symbols, which glowed brighter under his fingers. Knowledge flowed into him, not in words, but in understanding, like a memory of wisdom. He saw visions of alien technology, of cities powered by harmony, of humans who had once visited other worlds and left both good and bad traces. The voice in his mind spoke again. You are human, capable of wonder, capable of greed, capable of choice. Which path will you follow? James felt the weight of the lesson, understanding that the $0 tip at the diner had started all of this. He had thought it was a prank, a joke, but now he realized it was a test of character, of awareness, of potential. The object's light shifted, showing a small door in the holographic city, a door that pulsed, as if calling him. The alien waiter's projection seemed to point toward it, and James understood he was meant to follow. Fear and excitement mixed inside him, every instinct warning him of the unknown, but curiosity pushing him forward. He whispered, I will try to understand. I will learn, and the object pulsed softly, almost like it approved. James felt a new sense of responsibility, realizing he had become part of a larger story, one that stretched beyond Earth, beyond humans, beyond what he had ever imagined. The projection slowly faded, leaving James in the quiet city streets, but the glowing object pulsed in his hand, guiding him. He knew he had to continue, to seek the knowledge, to meet the alien waiter in a way that would reveal even more mysteries. And as he walked, he could feel the universe watching him, waiting for his next choice. Every step he took seemed significant now, every thought connected to the lesson the alien had sent. James realized that his journey was no longer about simple tricks or clever pranks, but about understanding, growth, and the hidden truths of a universe filled with beings far more intelligent than humans alone. He took a deep breath, gripping the glowing object, ready to follow the path it showed. And with that, James's adventure into the heart of alien knowledge truly began. James walked through the quiet streets of the neon city, the glowing object safely in his hand. Every step seemed heavier than the last, as if the weight of responsibility pressed on him. He remembered the $0 tip at the diner, the prank that had started all of this. Now he understood that his simple joke had been a test, and the alien waiter had seen every action, every thought. The glowing object pulsed gently, guiding him toward a small, hidden alley. At the end of the alley, a faint doorway appeared, shimmering as if it existed between worlds. James approached cautiously, heart pounding, knowing that once he entered, there would be no turning back. Inside, the room was silent and dark, but the object illuminated strange symbols on the walls. He realized the room itself was alive with alien intelligence, waiting for him to make a choice. James held the object tightly, thinking about what he could do. He could keep it for himself, learn its secrets, gain power, and perhaps fame, or he could follow the lesson the alien waiter had started and act with respect and humility. The weight of the decision pressed on him, fear and temptation battling inside. Suddenly, the object pulsed faster, and the holographic projection of the alien waiter appeared. It did not speak but extended a tentacle toward him, the gesture calm and expectant. James understood that the waiter was not asking, but watching, testing his true intentions. He thought about humans he had seen in the city, some greedy, some kind, some careless. He wondered what kind of human he wanted to be, what legacy he wanted to leave. The glowing object hummed softly, almost like it was listening to his thoughts, waiting for his choice. He remembered the lessons shown in the projections, the visions of human and alien interactions, the consequences of actions. James's fingers tightened around the object, feeling the warmth spread through him. He made a deep breath and decided, I will do the right thing. I will respect this gift, not use it for greed, he whispered. The object pulsed brightly, almost like it was smiling, and the doorway shimmered, revealing a path filled with light. James stepped forward slowly, every nerve alert. Feeling the gravity of his decision, he realized that this choice was not just about the object, but about who he was as a human being, capable of wonder, capable of humility, capable of learning. The alien waiter's projection nodded slightly, the motion subtle but full of meaning. James felt a sense of peace and understanding. Knowing that he had passed the test, he walked along the glowing path, the city around him seeming different, brighter, full of life and intelligence he had not noticed before. The object pulsed in harmony with his heartbeat, almost as if it approved of his choice. James thought about what he had learned so far, the importance of respect, curiosity, and responsibility. He knew that the adventure was far from over, but he felt ready for what would come next. Every shadow, Every light, every whisper of the city seemed alive now, full of meaning and possibility. James's mind was sharp, his senses open, and his heart filled with determination to follow the path of knowledge. Not selfishness. He knew the universe had many lessons, many challenges, but for the first time, he felt prepared to face them. And as he walked forward, the glowing object pulsed softly, guiding him deeper into the mysteries of the alien world. James understood that the moral choice he had made was only the beginning, and the real journey was about to unfold. James followed the glowing path deeper into the hidden city. Every step felt more alive than the last, as if the air itself hummed with intelligence. The neon lights reflected off the smooth walls, casting strange patterns that seemed to move like living creatures. He felt the presence of the alien waiter nearby, watching silently, guiding without touching. Finally, the path ended in a vast chamber, filled with light and floating symbols. In the center hovered a large holographic orb, glowing brighter than anything James had ever seen. The small object in his hand pulsed in response, resonating with the orb's energy. James realized that this was the source of knowledge, the ultimate revelation that the alien waiter had been preparing him for. He stepped closer, feeling a wave of understanding and awe. The orb projected visions of the universe, planets forming, stars burning, civilizations rising and falling, and humans playing a part in ways he had never imagined. The small object floated from his hand toward the orb, merging gently, and a voice filled his mind, calm yet powerful. "Human, you have learned the lesson. You have chosen wisely." James gasped, understanding that his prank at the diner had led him to this moment. The alien waiter appeared beside the orb, tall and silent, its glowing eyes reflecting the light of the universe. It raised a tentacle, pointing to the visions, and James felt the truth of everything. Knowledge was a gift, respect was power, and humans could achieve greatness if they chose the right path. The orb pulsed again, showing him images of humans helping aliens, exploring worlds, and leaving positive marks on civilizations. James felt pride and humility at the same time, knowing he had been part of a bigger story, a story that celebrated humanity's potential. The voice spoke once more. "Your journey is only beginning. Share this wisdom, act with courage, and remember, every choice matters." James nodded, the weight of understanding settling in his mind. He realized that the alien waiter's test was not punishment but guidance, teaching him the value of thoughtfulness, respect, and curiosity. The chamber shimmered, and the orb slowly faded, leaving only the glowing object in James's hand. Now calm and steady, he looked at the alien waiter, who inclined its head slightly, as if acknowledging that he had passed. James felt a surge of gratitude, excitement, and determination, knowing he had gained something far greater than any material reward. The path back to the city seemed shorter, brighter, filled with the energy of possibility. He walked through the streets, observing humans and aliens together, understanding their actions and choices in a new way. The glowing object pulsed softly, a gentle reminder that knowledge and respect were alive within him. James realized that his adventure had started with a simple prank, a $0 tip, but had led him to the heart of a universal lesson. He smiled, feeling wiser, stronger, and more aware than ever before, ready to face the challenges of the universe. The alien waiter's presence faded slowly into the shadows, leaving James with a promise unspoken but understood. He knew that life, choices, and respect would guide him on future adventures, and that humans truly could rise to greatness in a universe full of wonders. And as James walked forward, the city pulsed with life, mysteries waiting to be discovered, and his heart filled with courage, curiosity, and hope.